So, no webcam for this one. I'm going to try and record and show how I do my digital art now. Trying to incorporate the different programs I've been learning to use, including some AI aspects. Because as far as I can tell, AI is a tool, just like Photoshop or any of these other programs. It just helps you create what you want to create. So for D&D, I've been combining some creatures. Right here is my clay golem skitterhaunt fusion. As you can see, I just kind of spliced together the stat blocks for the creatures, but now I want to actually create one. Create a skitterhaunt clay golem. Yeah, so this will probably be a long video for me, lots of editing to do, but we'll see how I go from here. Basically what I'm thinking is like beetle armor on top of a very muscular kind of clay sandstone looking person. And do I want green ooze? I'm thinking more liquidy clay, like it's melting, and that'll replace the ooze. But at least for my D&D stuff, I use rune, which is a alloy of adamantium and mithril. So it's light and strong. Kind of cheapo that way, but yeah. And I base it off of the kind of rune from RuneScape, so it's a bluish. So I might give the golem a kind of blue tint and maybe use like a blue carapace of the, probably going to go with more like a Hercules beetle exoskeleton for the armor. And so yeah, that's my plan and goal. We shall see how it works. So first up, let's get the base of the golem. So I have my stable diffusion AI, but I also, this is actually the website, because it's free, or was free, that I do a lot of my AI art with, or first learned how to do AI art. They did put a lot of stuff behind a paywall, but it's still mostly free, so I can use it to supplement my downloaded version of Stable Diffusion, which is basically AI on my computer. I don't have to worry about anything being put behind a paywall. It's free, just uses a lot of your computer, especially if you don't have an NVIDIA graphics card, because that's what this program is based for. And without it, it uses mostly your processor and RAM instead of using your graphics card. So it's made for graphics card. If you have it, it's better, but since I don't, it takes a long time for it to make AI art, so I supplement it with this and combine. I'm also do a lot of stuff for using free, so instead of Photoshop, I use the Pixlr photo editor. I used it to make a Pikachu version of my father at one point. Anyway, yeah, so let's try. What's the description? I want muscular, athletic. Go with, don't really want hair, so bald Giga Chad. Muscular, athletic, muddy, melting, gooey, EY, slimy, slimmy. I already did melting. Anyway, let's see what that does. This also goes much faster because using my stable diffusion, it takes like 15 minutes. Well, it got kind of glossy going on. But that's not what I want at all. Few options. Instead of square, I'm gonna go for tablet style. Yeah, see what that does. It's a background. Should we go for the temple background? No, let's go with I like the 1.5 better than the 2.1, just because this looks more raw as opposed to like hyper detailed HD. Yeah, the photorealism. High, normal. Let's go with very strict. And it's a lot of luck of the draw. So coming back here, it is wearing kind of a loincloth, but I want it to be ultimately like armor. By Bagshaw and Brom. That gives it kind of a fantasy artwork kind of feel. And blocked under paywall, so let's try giving it samurai armor. Yeah, that's sort of the it definitely gave it the fantasy feel. Okay. His hand's there. What's even holding this? But at least it's getting the kind of molten clay look I was going for. Yeah, Giga Chad, definitely. AI art. Ooh, getting closer, closer. So that's not going very well. So what we can do is do a base image. Let's go with, you know, just bald Giga Chad. New hair. Keep an eye out in case it's not safe for work image comes up. I can cut that out. This one might actually be a decent base. So copy image address. And up this. Let's try 95. So this prompt strength changes. Like lower down is more of the original image, while higher up replaces the image with the prompt, which is very strict. And I think that's too much of the prompt. So let's cut this down to 7 maybe? Closer. It's finally getting muscles, but it's losing a lot of the clay look. Let's try that again. A lot of my rule of thumb with this, since it's so fast, is do 3 images. That way you can kind of get a judge of where you are and what you need to adjust. See, because that's not so bad. Let's turn it down just a little more. Maybe a 5, 50-50. 50% prompt, 50% the image. It's definitely taking that black and white scale, which I don't want. But let's see if it still does the black and white. facial hair muscle man. Muscle man, yep. Yeah, at least start with a colored image. Still has facial hair, but hopefully they'll come out. Let's replace this image. And if you get this kind of like rainbow going on, that means that the image quality is too low of the image you put in. To help with that, I found out about a tool. You can go to size large. So these top results are the larger images. Maybe that one. Well, I admit I was not expecting that. Those look like some kind of alien eggs. Yeah, I don't even, at least it has a dungeon background. Okay, yeah, somehow turned his shorts into eggs. That's up this maybe to 6. Well, trees, that's not really dungeon-esque. But he is kind of melty. And it's keeping the muscles, finally. Still delete that. Try again. Muscles. Again, weird trees going on. The hanging lamps kind of look nice. But this looks like a good start for a new image. So copy prompt, re-image, paste the prompt, and that way I'm using a secondary image instead of the original I just took from the internet. So it's creating something completely new now. Only based on itself. That's not bad. Again, it's like a forest background, which is not the prompt, but oh well. That's muddy, melting, gooey, slimy. Dripping, oozing. Mud monster. And evil. Maybe that'll help get rid of the forest. There we go. We're getting the melty, mudman monster going on. Still kind of foresty, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But we're losing the muscles. Might be worth saving, so let's keep it, but rerun it. I think it's too loosey-goosey because he's changing his pose and changing everything. So let's get rid of that. And turn this down. Oh yes! When you re-image it, automatically sets it back to 8. So let's turn this back down to 6. And blocked. Paywall. Interesting. Still not what I'm going for, but interesting. Might be worth saving for another project, so let's just hit rerun. Ah, definitely getting the melty drippy going on. Let's see, we added bodybuilder to that one. Let's try that here. Let's slime monster. How what? For HD. Interesting, interesting. I did put the bodybuilder in, yep, bodybuilder. Since we're doing the bodybuilder, called male bodybuilder. Maybe move up mud slime monster. It's getting glossy like he's slimy. Mud slime monster, cut, paste. Ooh, that's it's blind now, but that's something. It's getting that kind of. These are overpopulating onto it, though. Weird moss stuff growing on them. Compared to the original image, it's closer. Copy prompt, re-image. And turn this down. And this is all just to get the body. Oh, there's some monstrosityness going on there. Let's increase this to 7. Alright, so my audio died. So I'm showing you right now a lot of stuff behind that's still in the paywall and keeps flagging up stuff. Is a little annoying. It looks like the trees became a little muscular too. Let's try getting more muscles, get bulkier. There we go. We got something good going on there now. About worth saving. Now I'm going to upload the image to Burmy so that I can crop it to the kind of size I want in order to use in my stable diffusion of 512 by 512. So go to imaging to image. I like using Euler. The 1.5, that's what MadeSpace can use, so I like to look better. I'm going without painting. Restore faces on, only outpainting it downward and trying to double the image. So let's try for 500, but it looks like the max is only 256, so I might make his legs a little short. Copying the prompt over from made space, and then I can change it just a little bit in order to focus on the legs. I have it set in my stable diffusion that putting something in brackets emphasizes that more to the AI. Double checking all my settings and generating, and this should take a while but not too long. Okay, so it outpainted, gave it another extended arm, kind of gave it a leg there, and then a leg that goes into a hand. But yeah, that's how outpainting works. That wasn't so bad, since it's just outpainting. It only took like 6 minutes instead of 15. But alas, that's not what I'm going for. And since it takes so long to do this kind of thing, what I'm going to do instead is downloads, open this up in Paint. Extend this down some. Give it a background. Bodybuilder legs. That has feet. That'll help. Actually, I kind of like that for the dungeon feel. So let's see if we can get some of that in there too. Yeah, just plop those down there. Save as 2. That way we can always go back if we need to. And for some reason it likes to save it in pictures. Some Windows 10. I don't get it. It's so annoying sometimes. Oh yeah, and then yeah. You can see my previous work on experimenting with my father. Yeah, I don't care about transparency. It might leave this color. So change the brush to middle brush. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just try and get the color to match a bit. I'm leaving the knees uncovered so it still kind of gets that knee detail. Yeah, let's... Yeah, okay. Leave that as 3. Come back to Stable Diffusion. We'll go to In Paint instead. Make sure the Out Paint's turned off. Coloring. Increase the size of the brush here. Yeah, let's include the hand, why not? Prompts the same. Bulking, ball builder, athletic, view. And since we are in Paint now, Euler still good, sampling 20. In Paint masked only. I like having resize and fill just in case, because if it's resize, it can distort your picture, you know, like stretch it. Crop and resize, you can cut off parts by accident, so I like resize and fill because it'll fill around it instead. The gun scale, I like 10. That's for the original image, I believe. Denoising strength. Let's go with 5 for this. I like restore faces on, even though it's not doing the face. Just because it gives it a smoother feel. I get. To me, it does. Original whole picture. There was something else I was going to do. Oh yes, the size is no longer the 5x12. We changed it when we added the legs. That's 512 by 940 now. 512 by 940. And so I should keep that same size. Let's do a batch of 1. Yeah. Just to give it an idea to see if it's the right settings. And since this is doing a whole image, it should be 15-minute one or so. We'll find out. While this goes, I'm going to groove out to some music or something. So, think you can hear me. A little more of the original color came in than I wanted it to. So I just kind of filled it in with Microsoft Paint. If you compare it to original, I do kind of like how it's beefier and even more muscular. So I redid that with the new one, and then bake it again. Hopefully with less of that original color and it's more mud and clay-like. All that same thing. Let's actually turn this since the legs turned out so well. Yeah, turn that down to 4. And let's go again. Okay, so to explain what I did, kept getting colors. I didn't like the arm and just kind of wanted to change a few things. So I ended up taking this image, putting it back into made space, which is faster, so much faster. Still using the same prompt. Got a new image. Now I've taken that image and put it into Pixlr because I'm decently happy with it. It's melty. Got this arm looking better. Still got the muscles and yet still, you know, drippy and slimy and all that stuff. I don't care about extra toes at this point, or extra fingers if it has any. And so now I'm giving it the kind of blue rune color. That's under, so after you upload the image, there's adjust and filter, and then color. What I would do is I would increase the tint and temperature, and then play around with the hue. There's green. There we are, kind of more of a blue. Let's lower the saturation so it's more like a dull blue, but I'm losing that brown. Let's turn up that saturation a bit more. Can I get a better blue maybe? Hang on, let's get a reference. RuneScape Rune Armor. Okay, so that's the kind of blue I'm trying to go for. Oh yeah, I think there is a compare option. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that's getting pretty close. Let's apply that. Go back in. You can always undo it, which I love. That same reason why I don't like drawing with ink is you can't undo ink, but you can undo this. And then let's increase the temperature, get some of that brown back in there. Yeah, it's looking kind of black. Increase the tint. Yeah, let's get some of the blue back in there. Now I'm not worried about the background right now because I'm just going to completely replace the background, but I'm focused more on the body here. Yeah. Oh, that's probably good. Apply that. Okay, I got a body. Let's go ahead and save that as a PNG. And you only get so many free saves with Pixlr a day. But you can always cheese it by making sure you're zoomed in to 100% and just screenshotting it as you go down. That way you're getting the 100% detail. Yeah, that's how you can get around it. Takes more time, but hey, time is money, so you can decide for yourself if it's worth spending the money or worth spending the time. Copy this, and since I don't have Microsoft Word, I have been using a program called OpenOffice, but I found that after I upgraded to Windows 10, this particular feature didn't want to work the way I wanted it to. So I've downloaded the newer version of OpenOffice called LibreOffice, still free, and you open up a presentation. Background doesn't really matter. I just go with DNA. And since I have what is considered a scrap copied, I can right click and paste the scrap. So I have it here. So I can have this kind of base going on. And so what this allows me to do is rotate and flip, is it? No, position and size. Position and size, rotation, rotation angle, and you can change the angle of stuff. which you can't do in Paint, and that's super nice and useful. But I don't want that, so let's cut that, go back to original here, paste it. What happened with OpenOffice is after the first image, it no longer allowed you to paste again for some reason. It was weird. Just the script, the old script and the new computer Microsoft language were not quite compatible. Yeah, so I have this space now.